Yo, y'all listening to Savage Media Radio, your number one source for underrated and non-viral topics, discussions, and news from the web and around the world. Think you can handle that much truth? Buckle up, bruh. It's about to get savage.
We back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Wednesday night.
And we back.
That's
back.
right. And it's 8:10, you know. For some people, it's 8 o'clock somewhere, so just go with that.
Or 5 o'clock for us.
Or 5 o'clock somewhere, you know, almost 8. So you know how we do. We back, y'all. We love what we do. We here, straight Savage as we do.
5 o'clock, almost 8? What?
It's
What's
5 o'clock,
that mean?
That means it's almost 8, and 3 hours will be 8 there, right? So it's gonna be 8 o'clock somewhere after this.
Okay.
I was just trying to say that. I don't know, maybe it didn't make sense, but okay. What's up, team? What's good? What's good?
Everything. Everything's good.
Tell me what's
Everything's good.
Your bike is still intact, and
My bike is still intact. I got a couple
didn't
things.
Take your bike again?
I think I'm winning the game right now. My bike is still intact. That's very exciting. Summer is right around the corner. It's starting to warm up here in Los Angeles. I'm sure you guys are starting to get warm too. But the most exciting thing is I figured out, Carlos, next time you get in trouble, you just have to say, it was the Ambien that made me do it. Like I figured out there's a new defense.
What?
Miss Roseanne Bars is my bitch.
Thank you. So I'm busting some balls just because, I'm reading about Roseanne claiming that she said shitty things on the internet because of the fucking Ambien that she takes. So I was just sharing some.
NBC's ABC president is black, first black president, and she said I ain't having it. So bye, Felicia.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to talk about that for a little bit on my segment, so don't ruin it.
Okay, cool.
So don't ruin it?
Cool. Yeah, don't ruin it. All right, I'm good. Everybody's good. I'm good.
Good. What about you, Carlos? What's goody?
So you guys know you've been following since February. This fucking court date. Tomorrow's the day, guys. Tomorrow's the day. The sun is shining. The tank is clean, and I'm getting the fuck out of the system. Hopefully. Now, actually, I'm speaking into existence. They're going to drop these charges tomorrow. And then I will be able to, I'm going to take my husband to our favorite dinner tomorrow night. That's what I'm planning, to our favorite restaurant. We're finna ball out because I haven't really had to be able to see him or go to dinner in almost 4.5, 5 months. But on the flip side, if they decide to take this to trial, this is going to become a book because I'm definitely going to write about it because this is the most ridiculous shit. But I'll keep you guys updated. And lastly, I think that's really all I've been focusing on this week. I didn't book anything just because I just knew mentally I was just going to be fucked up trying to just pay attention to this case.
Get yourself together, right?
Yeah.
So
we
got you
for McDonald's yesterday.
I saw that.
Other than that,
how was
that shit was weird. That was weird.
It was really
Wait, what happened?
They had you sexually eating French fries, eat this French fry like you're sucking.
No, well, it was just they wanted you. You guys have seen the hip McDonald's commercials when the people are dancing and then they go into the restaurant when they meet their friends and they sit down and eat. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of the skit we had to do. But eating an imaginary hamburger and showing satisfaction is actually really hard to do as an actor. And I'm not really a trained actor. So I tried my best. The lady said I did good, but it was just really weird. It was just really very awkward.
You could have did it, Carlos.
One thing I did notice is that I was the only black male. Actually, I was one of 2 black male out of 75 people. So I was like, damn, hopefully they really jumping on this black people bandwagon because they're going to pick me or him.
In McDonald's commercials or in fast food commercials, it's nothing but black people. You have this. You're fine.
Right, there's only 2 of y'all. You ain't got that much competition. Come on. You and Billy. We got this, baby. What's good?
That's funny.
Go.
Go.
No.
Oh, me?
No, you got something funny to say. Wait, before you go ahead, Doug always got some history.
I want to know what
Doug
is
doing.
I'm not that. I did go to Starbucks yesterday and got shut down. I was like, what the fuck? How come Starbucks isn't opening? And all the Starbucks in my area are officially dark because they're doing retraining. So
for the non-biased training. For one,
Yep.
I forgot about that.
Which one? How can you reverse a whole lifehood of racism
in one day?
In one day of training.
What? One day?
We'll see how good this goes.
We'll see how it goes.
So the hub, I live in the hub of Seattle, or of Starbucks, which is Seattle. And even though I've been to Starbucks for meetings, I don't spend my money there, people. Don't come after me. I'm pro-Black, and I believe in that shit. I believe in putting our dollars back into our community. But I still do take meetings, because a lot of people want to meet there. Do you know the last time I went to Starbucks was like 3 days ago, and I asked them to use their restroom? Now, conveniently, the last 2 Starbucks I've gone to, their restroom is out of order. And I had to say touche to them. I had to say touche, because I was like, you know what? Y'all are real slick. Now that you can't say I can't use it, it's just out of order. Like,
right. Well, you won't get us today. We will not be on the news. It won't be this Starbucks, okay? We're back in class.
Right. Oh, boy.
All right, Coco, let's get it. I'm sorry. We back. We ain't going nowhere. We got you.
No, I have nothing interesting going on, so that's kind of why I passed the ball. But besides that, I actually have been trying to rack my brain about something I can do on YouTube, because Carlos has inspired me, but I am also not as creative. And I also, I can't narrow down what I want to make a YouTube channel about. So if you guys have any ideas or anything, to share, any tidbits of information, what's popular, blah, blah, blah.
I know what you can do.
What? Oh, God. I'm scared.
Maybe because, you're so outspoken. No, like, you ain't got to take the clothes off, not like that. You're so outspoken. I feel like there's women out there who can relate to, like, first of all, you're one woman with 4 guys. 3 guys. 4 guys. So there's a lot of things that maybe, women might want to ask or just see, like, that's just a different situation. You don't really see it like that. It's usually all girls or all guys. So I feel like maybe you could start by that, because you're very opinionated, by putting things out there and bring those things that the women say back to us. And maybe we can make that like a dialogue between your YouTube and Savage.
Ooh, look at you thinking.
Just an idea. You know how we out here. Sprinkling out some seeds.
You should also do like I like my favorite YouTubers right now are like, they're called like it's like a tea time, where it's just like a 5 to 10 minute daily chat where you're just like, good morning, today I'm depressed, but today I'm gonna fucking get up, and like just really show the raw.
That's dope. I like that.
I do that on Facebook, so I could do that in person.
Literally, if I were to give anything, I think my YouTube success is just being raw, like just showing people the shit. You guys see I show police brutality, fucking like everything, like just be raw, and because people like that, people just like the drama of rawness.
Yeah, that's true.
What about you, Doug, since we heard from the round table?
You want to know what I think? I don't know. I don't know. I will say on the next month, I'm taking Ariana to one of those YouTube stars named Kinji and somebody else. They're like touring, and they're doing like a Perfect Summerfest tour. Oh, so they think like I don't know, like arts and crafts, but for young kids. So I'm like
that's cute.
So it's interesting. I'm always fascinated with how the YouTube world can come out of the digital space into the organic space, right? And so I'll let you know. But in the middle, somewhere at the top part of July, I'll be going to see one of the bigger YouTubers in that space, Kenji and somebody else that does like arts and crafts for younger kids.
Well, I gotta look them up because I like crafts.
Yeah.
I would like make stuff on YouTube, but for me, when I watch people make things, it bores the fuck out of me on YouTube, and I can't really do that to a lot of people. So I'm not gonna go that route. I'll figure it out, and you guys will be the first ones to know.
Listen, you gotta test the waters, Coco.
Yes.
Test the waters. Try this, try that, and see what works. See what your audience likes. See what they what they gravitate to, and you'll know from there. Like, you're good at that, researching what's going on. You're the one that tells us our numbers and gets everything popping. So you got it, girl. Cool. You got this. One hand in the air, one fist in the air. Booyah.
I will try.
Kind of forever. Awesome. Before we get moving to the next 2-hour first segment, I have some friends. First of all, it pays to be nice to people no matter where you go in the world. Because I have some friends who are coming from Australia on holiday. They call their vacations holiday. To New York for 2 weeks, and they're actually coming on Friday for my show. They're coming Friday in the daytime, so they'll be here for my show on Friday. And this is the 3rd person that have come from Australia that I met while I was out there all the way on the other side of the world. So it pays to be nice to people, and they'll come and visit. So yeah, you'll see some videos and photos and stuff. Courtney will get to meet us. Courtney knows what's up. I see her on Friday. And so yeah, I'm excited about that. And last but not least, I told you guys about doing social influencing and all that. I'm starting to get more emails about getting more things, and I got my first product today. I got my first service 2 weeks ago, and now I got my first product today, my little raspberry lemonade socks from Ankle Express. So it's pretty cool. Like, being a social influencer is kind of cool. Something I've always dreamed of, and it's actually happening. So saying and doing. I've challenged everyone to not just to say what you want to do and do it this year. That's what I did on my podcast on Free Yourself, and I'm telling you guys the same thing here on Wednesday. This is the year of saying and doing. If you want to do something, say this is what I'm going to do, and just take the actions and take the steps that needs to get there. That's it. So, without further ado, we're going to keep things moving over the fuck shit with Troy and Coco. Let's go. Yo, we here. Troy Weeks, Coco is good.
I love how you start this segment like you weren't just talking.
I know, it's cool. It's a new segment. It's a new segment. You got to let people know it's a transition. It's new.
It's a whole different dude.
A new voice.
You know, Doug's not really good, Doug, though. I love Doug's voice. When he does that movie voice, I'll never forget my whole life for the rest of my life. You guys never heard Doug do this movie voice. Wait till the announcements. You're going to hear it. It is the best. I thought it was a recording every single time. I'm like, he should be making millions of dollars just doing that shit because it's so good. But yeah, you're welcome. Today, oh my God. So you guys know I'm always, going and how I feel and in the modes, things that affect me. And you're always asking me, well, where's this coming from? Excuse me. Today's topic is something that people may or may not fuck with me about, but it's some things I'm starting to realize amongst the gay community here in New York. I don't know if it's the same way in Seattle or anywhere else in this world, but what I have an issue with is how a lot of people here in the gay community complain about not getting opportunities to do other things, but when they are the people that give the opportunities, they only give the opportunities to the people that are in their circle or they feel are popping amongst the gay community. So it's like you complain about getting opportunities, but then when you have the chance to put other people in from the outside who are not in your circle, you don't really give that opportunity to them. So why are you complaining? If you want to keep yourself limited to what you got in your circle or who may appeal to the major audience that already, if you want to follow in those and grab those kind of people, that's fine, but don't complain about it because you're limiting your own self. And that is what I'm talking about today on Fuck Shit, because I'm sick and tired of people complaining about shit, but being limited and standoffish to other people who are not fitting in their circle or fitting to what they see in their eyes. Carlos, does any of that go on over there in Seattle?
So I don't fuck with the community. No, I'm too busy. I'm too booked and busy to even get involved with that. But I do see it happening, and it's not. But Troy, it's not just the gay community. I was talking to Coco about this. It's everyone. Everyone's out here. Like, there aren't any genuine humans anymore who are just like, hey, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you thrive. And then they always want a view or a return or some clout from you. I think it's emphasized in the gay community. I think there's definitely this unspoken competitiveness, especially in the Black gay community. Like if you are, and the thing that I've seen now, which I can't speak about, if you aren't actually fucking married in real life, like certified by the government, don't go around just because you are with a married couple being like, oh, this is my hubby and this is my husband. I think that's almost like an underscore dig to me. So I think that those type of shady things definitely happen in the gay community. But I think what I do is I just get my duckies and just keep myself.
I just get it. I totally understand, and I feel like that's the thing to be. Like, that the big motto is, being booked and busy. Granted, there's nothing wrong with that's amazing. But if you're being booked and busy, and you're so booked and busy that you get lost in all of that, and you think you're better than somebody else, or you think I'm this, I'm that.
But the thing is, a lot of people, I'm probably on the upper. I'm probably that person that you're talking about because I am that good and I am that important, and that's why I continue to be successful. Like, don't hate me for loving myself. I'm not going out of my way to be like, oh, you ain't shit. But just because I am confident and I am like, yes, this is what I am. Don't hate me for that. And I feel like that I get a lot of that in the gay community too.
I can definitely see. You know what that hate is? That hate is the confidence. Because you know why? When you're a person that's confident in who you are and you're not stimulated by the people around you, what people think or say about you, then people they want to wonder, like, oh, they want to try and break your confidence. They want to try to, that confidence is looked at as, oh, you think you're better than somebody. I'm just confident, baby. I'm just proud of who I am. I love myself. And I'm just confident in that. So don't
you don't
my
have
confidence.
To be better than someone to love and know and be confident in yourself.
Come on.
Like, I don't have to, just because I'm confident in me doesn't mean I don't think you're just as confident and just as go-getting. But I just know I'm the shit.
Listen, You got to know you the shit. You got to look in the mirror and tell yourself you the shit every day, no matter who you are. Because if nobody else tell you, if you don't tell yourself that, then how's somebody else going to see you, look at you and see it? If you don't believe in yourself and have the self-love you need for yourself, how the hell is somebody else going to love you and see that and see what it is in you that, like I saw Jada Pinkett talking about with Gabrielle Union. They didn't talk for 17 years on Red Table. They were talking about it. 17 years, these two beautiful, black, amazing women didn't talk and didn't even know why. And then they realized, like, life is too short. You got to put things behind you. Like, you don't need to waste your time on energy that's not even, like, put up. When you put negative energy out, that's what you get back. And that's why a lot of negative people out here, they're out here being so negative instead of putting out positive reinforcements. Today's going to be a great day. I'm going to have a good day today. Or, you know, whatever it may be, it's just being positive. That one thing of putting the positivity out will change the whole atmosphere, can change your whole day. Yes.
It's not, I mean, well, it is prevalent, I'm sure, in the gay community or, you know, even in just males, amongst males. But I know for females, like any female is quick to tear another female down rather than to just simply give them a compliment. Like, it's so crazy because I think it's just human nature to just feel competitive. Not even just feel competitive, but feel threatened by other people that may be doing either better than you, or maybe you see something in them that you wish you could have in yourself.
Right.
I feel like it's all around a human thing, human nature, especially just today's society. We're selfish, and all we want is what we want. We want to just, you know, get that money, get that success, get that notoriety. And if anybody has that already, we look at them as, you know, why can't this be me? I'm going to now hate you because you've strived and you've struggled and you've triumphed and I haven't. Like, it's a selfish way to look at it, but I don't know what has brought us to that. What do you think, since you brought this topic up, what do you think is causing us to, as a society, to be that way, to be that selfish or to have that negativity? What do you think is the cause of that?
I say that my biggest conspiracy is one of the things I love the most, and that's reality TV. I feel like with this day and age and the depiction of what reality TV puts out, everybody wants to be on social media and be seen because they feel like they could be the next big thing, the next big star, the next big personality. That has messed the game up. So everyone's out here thinking that they're bigger than who they are, out here Instagram famous but broke as hell, sleep on the couch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're so focused on what people see and present versus the reality of what it is. So you may look like, oh my God, the camera's on, I'm smiling, I'm great. Camera's off, like, oh my God, I hate my life. I'm doing this free gig. I'm not getting paid for it, but it looks amazing, right? Like, the reality starts to sit in. And I feel like the sense of self is not there, because the reason why I brought this topic up is because me being who I am and doing what I'm doing, I want to help everybody. Y'all know me, and y'all been listening, and y'all personally know me. Like, I just want to help with every platform I have. I want to help as many people as I can. Of course, I can't help everybody. But with that being said, I'm opening my platform to people to give them the opportunity, whether they're LGBT or not. I open them to everyone. And yet, when I look at the opportunities that are being presented, and I'm not being looked at because I'm not popping in the LGBT community, I'm like, well...
No. It's just, Troy, I'm going to stop you there. It's not just, it's the LGBT community as a whole. Anyone in the LGBT community is going to have a harder time. Like, honestly, I was thinking about that today. I was like, if I was straight, I probably would be further than I am today, just because there's such a stigma on homosexuals and people in the LGBT community. So I don't think it's just our community. I think it's really the straight community that makes it. There's like 3 blocks. Like, you have to get through our community, then you have to get through like the straight community to just really identify you. Because I'm always identified as the gay black guy from Cut. Like, can't I just be Carlos the comedian from Cut? Why do I have to be the gay black guy from Cut? So I think that it's a societal thing that keeps us down, not really our own community.
No, I get what you're saying. I think maybe I'm not explaining it right. What I'm talking about specifically is people with power in the LGBT community who, in regards to events, in regards to, you know, reality TV, in regards to all that's going on as far as media, will only put people in those places that to give a shine to those places to people that they know, or someone that's already famous. That's what I'm saying. Like, somebody like me who have my own platforms and doing all this other amazing shit, who we can benefit from each other by working together, in a sense. Because I'm not someone you know personally in regards to your circle, you don't want to fuck with me. But it's fun. These people have seen me in person. They've seen me perform. And when I asked them about, oh, you came to my show the other day, the response I got was, oh, that was you that was singing? How do you, in a place where someone's killing that shit and don't remember if you don't remember their name, you remember their face? You don't go into a place and somebody kills it and you don't remember them at all. So it's like little shady things like that. Like we could be working together to build a community up, but yet because you won't take the time to get to even know me because I'm not popping in the scene that you see. So I'm just like, it sucks that people think like that because we can be bigger together. I just came out to the world as pansexual 2-3 months ago. You guys are on my podcast, so this is all new to me. Like I'm just beginning to, you know, open up those kind of doors and begin to, you know, branch off into that world because it's a whole nother ballgame, which is great now that I'm open and, you know, trying and freeing myself. It's just that how do you continue on a path of now being in a community where you're supposed to fit in and you feel uncomfortable?
Troy, I think what's coming to mind for me is this particular person that you're talking about, and we'll just call him, you know, person Y or whatever it is.
We'll say Y and Z because it's like at least
okay, Y and Z.
X, Y, Z. Right.
I gotta ask you, why are you giving them so much power?
Exactly.
Why are you giving them so much power?
I just think I wanted to talk about it because I feel like I'm not upset about it. It just puzzles me that as business people.
Right.
Yeah, you're
upset. Here's my. I'm going to read between the lines. And here's what I hear. So, if I were to say what I heard now was you reaching back to this person like, "Hey, I was at you're at my show," and when somebody says, "Oh, that was you," right out of the gate, that person's a fucking asshole. I can tell you that right. This lock, stock, barrel. That person's a prick. Yeah. So now Neighbor Doug is on the like, well, why does Troy give two fucks what this person thinks? You've got to be high stepping and letting bullshit roll right off your shoulders. So now if you were to say to me, Doug, but XYZ is the next step to where I want to go, like that. Now we're talking like business to business. Then I would say, be careful because this person isn't going to give you, if you give them 10 pieces of steak, they're not going to give you 10 pieces of steak. They're going to say you shorted them.
Oh, no, trust me. I get what you're saying.
I can get that just from that response. I can say, oh, that was you. Not positive.
Not positive, right. I'm going to support your event to do that. No, this is not. First of all, let's not get it twisted. I don't need to work with them to be who I am. I'm actually doing way more better. But it's for other people who are
this is what
in this community.
Okay, so
let me say one sentence and then Carlos can tell me. This is what I'm saying. This is the podcast, and so I'm not the only one that feels this way. So I'm saying that for people who are out there who don't fit into this community or feel like they don't fit in or they want opportunities and don't get it, that you don't need to fit in their box to do anything you want to do. I only brought it up so that I can say out loud that no matter what situation, if you're somebody that wants to do it, you don't have to fit in anywhere. I didn't understand why would they shade me when I just felt like we should work together. The whole time, my approach has always been, hey, guys, let's work together. So to go to a community where you're supposed to be comfortable and you're being shaded for no reason, it's like, okay, well, bitch, bye. Then I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and not even, focus on that. Because after they told me that, this is the tea. After they told me, oh, that was you singing? Oh, maybe you should put 2 of my artists on your show. One of those artists I already spoke to behind the scenes via Instagram and tried to get him on my show, and they dubbed me.
Right.
So, this is what I'm saying. These are the same community of people who I'm trying to help out. I'll reach you on my own to try to get involved with. Now, when I go to your place, you put your artist on, but I already spoke to your artist and they already dubbed me. They already played me. So it's like I may not be who you know. I might have met somebody you know today, but I got a lot of shit I'm doing, and you never know who's who. So you don't do that to people. So that's all. I only brought the topic up to say it made me mad because I feel like as a community we should want to work together because we're all doing the same shit. That's why I got mad, because the people who are not confident in their abilities, are not confident in their talent, and will be shaded by somebody like that and feel like they don't have it. That my life is over. I don't feel that way. I know I'm still gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm still booked and doing the shit I'm doing. I just feel like as a sense of community, that's fucked up. That we can't work together, and that if you're not in the eyes of them popular, then they don't want to fuck with you, which is cool because I'm still doing me. I'm still doing my shows. I'm still putting artists on. But at the end of the day, there are people out there who don't have that confidence to be able to come back from something like that. So I'm speaking to those people to say, you know what? You don't need that. You can do whatever you want to do. Start your own shit. Because at the end of the day, you can be just as great as they are. They went to a class, got a certification, and did their shit, and you can do the same thing. So that's where my anger came from, guys. I really don't. I don't need them to prosper. I don't need them to move on. Like, I'm still doing me. I just hate the fact that we can't work together as a community.
All right, Carlos, did you want to say something? Because I have another thing to say. Okay, cool. I'll jump in. So here's my thought. My thought is this. Sorry, he's tackling Fiki, getting with the pepper grinder. Fiki, put down the pepper, man. Put down the pepper. All right. So here's my thought. My thought is this. Super simple. The reality is that in a community, and let's just call it the arts community, whether you want to call it the gay community or whatever you want to call it, in a community where people are trying to come up and do something, you're going to have people that are really going to be user-friendly and people that are going to be really dickish and want you to jump through hoops. So this is me reaching out, kind of like doubling down on what you're saying, Troy, and reaching out to the people out there who might want to start something. And here's what you got to do. Create your own opportunity, and then don't forget to help people. Be humble.
Yes.
There you go.
That's what I was going to say, Doug. I was going to say create your own opportunity, and then when you are at the point where you can help them, go back and be like, hey, remember me?
But that's exactly what I'm doing, Carlos. That's exactly what I'm doing, creating my own opportunities. And as I'm creating my own opportunities, I'm like, if you're creating opportunities, I'm doing the same thing. Why not work together? But it's fine. At the end of the day, we're in the same area. We're gonna cross paths, and it doesn't even. I don't care at this point. It just made me mad because I'm like, dang, that's kind of fucked up that we can't work together when.
Welcome to the gay community of rainbows, sunshine, and shade.
Welcome, I guess that's
and
it,
unicorns.
right? Welcome, Troy.
Don't forget
and all
unicorns.
Of that, and glitter and all that shit. All right, well, hey, welcome. I'm here, right? Well, I got a breath of the fresh air, and at this point, I just see what it is, and that's why I keep to myself and keep it moving. I'll still continue to create opportunities and still open doors for people the way that God has opened doors for me, like I've been doing. But what I won't do, and let's be clear on this, if anybody's listening that I've ever gave you an opportunity and you have given me your word to show up, and you have not shown up, send a text message to say I'm not going to make it, nothing, don't ever expect to be open that opportunity again, because at the end of the day, you just never know. Like that, I could have been that one person that could have changed that one atmosphere. You could have met the person that was going to sign you in that room. Like this, you just never know. And I don't want to waste my time. If somebody gives me an opportunity, you better believe I'll say, you know what, I can't make it, or some kind of communication. Don't get booked for a gig. Don't show up and don't communicate at all. You just don't do that. You don't do that. That's not professional. So if you have done that to me, and I've had at least 4 or 5 artists in the last 2 months do that, then don't worry about it. Like I'm not chasing your dream. You chasing your dream, but I'm trying to help you, and I'm not going to chase after you to do something that you want to do. I'm not doing that. Yeah. Anybody else want to add anything to that before we move on to Carlos? Because I know he got some good shit.
No, I don't have anything to say, Troy. I mean, this isn't like my segment at all. I mean,
listen, you always have to, throw that Courtney, sass in there a little bit somewhere and give us a little. We can't just pass by you, Courtney. It doesn't work that way.
Apparently you can. No, I'm kidding. No, but I just wanted to say, just don't let them get to you. Like, you can hear in the passion in your voice that, you're letting these people win by even giving them the time of day. Yeah, there's other people that are probably going through the same thing, but again, they're going to have to deal with it in their own way, but don't let them get to you to the point where you feel you have to even mention, their existence. You're letting it get to you. So just do you. The people that cancel on you or the people that don't want to help you on the come up, just say fuck it, because when you are rolling deep in $1 million trillion and they come crying back to you, then they're gonna look stupid. So don't even worry about it. That was my 2 cents for with Troy and Coco.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you guys so much for your advice. I appreciate you guys. I love that we're family and that we keep it real no matter what. Like, and that's what I love about what we do, because regardless, you need that tough love sometimes to be like, no, that's not right. Hold up, wait a minute. Exactly. So I appreciate you guys for that. And hey, I never really get a chance to be passionate about stuff out in public. So that's why I'm like, I got a segment to be passionate. I'm going to be passionate. And sometimes you guys get me together, which is cool. You guys get me together real good, and I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I appreciate that. And so if you guys listen to today, take away anything, you know what? Don't let no one limit your dreams, because they are your dreams. Don't put ceilings, caps on none of that, because your mind don't never stop thinking. It's always going that can help better your life, better the world, whatever it may be. So with that being said, we're going to move things over to Kicking It with Carlos. Shout it out.
Hello. And welcome
I love
to
that.
another
Hello.
episode of Kicking It with Carlos. All right. So during the announcements, at the start of the show, I cut off Troy and said I had to say something about Roseanne. I know a lot of people are coming after her, but as always, Carlos takes the less popular approach. I feel really bad for Roseanne. One, for a couple reasons, and I'm going to explain why. I've read her tweet. If you guys don't know what we're speaking of, the tweet that she wrote, it was something along the lines of, let me see. I'm trying to find it here. It's really hard to find, but she called she called somebody in the Barack Obama administration. I think her name was Janice. Help me out, guys. What was her name? What was the lady's name? What was the lady's name? What was it? Come on, where are my notes? I don't know. But her initials are VJ. But Roseanne said Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby. And a lot of people, if you are on social media, a lot of people are like freaking out because it's clearly it's a slur towards Black people and monkeys. And it was Miss Jarrett. Miss Jarrett was the lady that she was speaking of who was on the Barack Obama administration. So, and like Doug was joking about earlier, Roseanne did came out and said that she was on Xanax when she made the joke about Valerie Jarrett. That was her name, Valerie Jarrett. And she apologized to Valerie Jarrett and all the Americans and this, that, and the other. Now, I have a couple problems with this. One, what happened to our First Amendment freedom of speech? I've said this several times. I think people should have, I honestly don't think that people should be losing their jobs and their whole careers and shows over something that they believe in. Now, what they believe in is wrong for me personally, but that's why we live in America. I feel like we're coming, when we combat racism with, oh, you're getting fired or we're canceling the show, I feel like that it really doesn't help because we're fighting fire.
Carlos,
we're not really looking at yeah.
Can I talk? I'm raising my hand.
Go ahead. Yes.
I totally understand where you're coming from with freedom of speech, but the way I look at it is you're free to say whatever the fuck you want to say, but that doesn't mean you're not gonna lose ties with people. You're not gonna lose opportunities.
Which is true. Which is why, as a person in the entertainment industry, I really want to look at her contract must have said something along the lines of she couldn't, because there's a difference between, I'm contracted with an agent. There are certain things that I cannot do, especially when on media. I'm contracted with YouTube. If I expect to get paid by YouTube, I can't have any sex, alcohol, or drugs on any of my YouTube pages. So I'm interested to see what her contract said. If it says don't. But then at the end of the day, Black folks we are fighting. The NFL just snuffled out the players by having their freedom to choose to kneel. And we're all in a huff about that. But then we're like, oh, she shouldn't have the freedom to really voice her opinion on her private Twitter. It wasn't like she went on the fucking Roseanne show's Instagram or Twitter and made the comment. It was her private Twitter.
Yeah, but Carlos, she's a public figure. Her private Twitter is a public Twitter for the world.
But she still has her First Amendment right of freedom of speech. She shouldn't be. I feel like she shouldn't be. I honestly feel like should there be some type of retribution? Yes. Maybe we should have a boycott of the show, but I don't think that ABC, the company, has the audacity to just shut down the entire show. And this is why I really get upset. It makes me very worried.
Contracts,
well,
they tell you have to have good PR though, Carlos. In those giant contracts, you have to have good PR.
That's great. But who's going to pay for these cast members' bills?
Nobody.
As a person exactly. So as a person in the industry who's trying to get on TV, I'm really afraid that if the main person, if the principal actor who has a huge public standing makes some political decision, why is that fair that now my job, and you guys don't understand, these people, Roseanne, the old show from back in the 90s is still playing on TV. The residuals from this show is ridiculous.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. And that fucking is unfair to the production team, to the makeup artists, to the actors who had nothing to do with what she said. Like, you're not just taking money from Roseanne. You're taking money from hundreds of people who have worked their asses off to get on a nationally syndicated show, which is not easy to do, and then which has residuals. And now they're just shit out of luck because of the one bitch decision.
That's why being in the entertainment industry is a high-risk career. It's a high-risk industry. Anyone could fuck it up for you. You could fuck it up for yourself and don't even realize it. It's because PR is so important when it comes to popular television, when it comes to, especially when in a very high, like a visceral, like political area where we are right now. Like right now, the moment we're in is very hot when it comes to politics. So anything that you say that goes directly to politics, goes to race, goes to religion, anything, you have to tread carefully. And if you don't, you are endangering the careers and the lives of everybody around you.
But at the end of the day, Roseanne has been her honest self. You're correct,
since
Coco.
Day one.
But
and I get it.
Since day one, like do you guys remember when she did that photo shoot when she was baking cookies?
Yeah.
And she had the Hitler mustache on, and like we know that she's a right-leaning, like conservative Trump supporter. We've known that. And even I wasn't even a fan of the original show, but I actually am a fan of the new show because she did speak about race issues. She did speak about like the differences between her black granddaughter and her white granddaughters, and she made it funny. And I think that we're trying to penetrate the right-wing community, and what better way than penetrate the right-wing community than a comedy show that is really talking about it, because most things that they're watching are not talking about the issues that the new Roseanne show was actually talking about, like transgendered rights, like homosexual rights, black rights. Like I think we're really doing ourselves a
Like, she could say whatever she wants, but that was in bad taste. And well, not only was it racist.
And yes, should it be? Yes. I feel like let the Twitterverse go after her. Let her not get booked for auditions or for the next show. But I think it's unfair for the ABC director to be like, oh, I'm personally offended.
I think
and then I'm going to shut this down. Now, the different perspective I'm going to give you. Let's say that Blackish. Are you guys familiar with the show with Blackish?
Yep.
Let's say that what is her name? Ross. Diana Ross's daughter. She's one of the main actresses. Tracy Ross. Let's say that she made a pro-Trump or an anti-Trump, like Trump's the fucking devil, this, that, the other. She hasn't done anything like that, even though we do know where she stands. She hasn't outwardly done that. But let's say she did. And let's say the CEO of, I think it's CBS, whoever controls Blackish, just fires her and was like, oh, just because of your political standing, you're fired. What do you think the black community would do?
But Carlos, listen though. What you're saying is if it was a political statement, this woman actually attacked her appearance and her ethnicity. Like that's where the issue is.
But this also comes in. She's not just an actress. Roseanne is a comedian, and this is why I also come to her defense. I myself have jokes in my set where I called Donald Trump a wig wearing Cheeto, and like I really go after the man. Should I be taken off of a job or not looked at a job because of my political stance? I don't think it's fair, and I think we also have to give her a little creative gift. Like it was a joke. Honestly, I think it was a joke, and to be completely honest, and not to be. I find humor in it. Did you actually look up the Planet of the Apes monkey that she was talking about? Because the lady, this is my podcast, and I'm going to say it. Valerie does favor that monkey on.
That's not nice.
Apes. She does. It's not nice, but it's the truth, and that's where comedians. That's where you find the humor. It's because if you can find just laugh at yourself. Just be like, yeah, that does. I get jokes about myself all the time. That does look like me. That is funny. Now, did she call her a racist monkey coon? No, she made a reference on a movie. What do you guys think?
She said Muslim Brotherhood. That alone is enough to get you lynched. Like that's like you don't.
But what is the Muslim Brotherhood besides? Is this a religion? Correct.
But I want to say something, Carlos.
Okay.
Go ahead. Troy, go ahead.
All I can think about is that monkey thing. So you mean to tell me right now, if Roseanne said that monkey shit about Carlos Dillon and then somebody goes behind that being funny, some white person, and comes and puts your face on a monkey, like, that was funny, right? Don't you look like the monkey, or compare your face to the monkey? You don't think that you mind your own business, doing you, and out of nowhere comes this comment, and now the pressure's on you, and now people are going to be seeing memes with this lady next to this monkey. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is that? That's not okay from someone who we're looking up to, we're viewing on TV every day. You got to be held accountable in some way. It's not okay. Because somebody...
Personally, if that happened to me, I would go after her on her social media. I would go after her in the media, but I would not want to stop her from getting her duckies because I would never want anyone to do that to me. I don't disagree with that part. I think that there's a difference between social justice and being like, this bitch is racist, and like we really need to like confront her and let her know, compared to not only taking her job, but hundreds of other people's jobs as well. Now, I don't want you guys to get explicit. I'm not defending what she said. I'm understanding it and I'm finding the humor in it, but at the end of the day, it's still wrong. But I think the effect that it has really left hundreds of people in production and in acting out of a job, I think that's fucked up.
Yeah, there's, I guess I'm going to go kind of like from the top down on this one. That it was not only was it a bad thing to say, it was like an incredibly poor taste, but there are a lot of people does she have the right to say that? Sure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
She's totally got the right, just the same way her agent at ICM who dropped her says, I can't work anywhere close to somebody like that because they get blowback. Just the same way Viacom is now pulling all of the reruns because they don't want to get blowback.
I just feel like when if we can compare it to who was it? The Steelers, whoever the fuck that, homeboy who kneeled, what is his name? Kaepernick.
Mm-hmm.
They dropped him. And we are all like, well, why did he lose his job? Because he
49ers.
stood and the 49ers. Sorry, you guys know I'm not into sports. But it's the same thing. Like, so we can't look at the 49ers and be like, oh, fuck you for dropping him because they did not agree with his political stance. Just like ABC did not agree with Roseanne's political stance. So
well, I think, let's be real. Okay, I'm going to back up one and I'm going to say, Kaepernick not taking a knee, there's a fucking specific reason why he was doing that. It's a very specific reason. But he's trying to say, hey, man, black people are being beaten up by cops. It's very different than Roseanne's just like, I don't like black people or whatever it is.
She did not say and this is exactly why I'm defending her. She did not call out any other person besides Valerie. And do we know what Valerie did or say? Did she say every black person in this country looks like the Planet of the Apes cast?
No,
she didn't.
She did not.
She called out one particular person. And do we know? Like people, even Coco called me the other day. I was like catching up with Coco. She's like, "Hey, who are you talking about on Facebook?" Because people don't know who the fuck you're talking about. So and then you don't know the backstory. People, and Coco wasn't the first person. It was other people like, oh, did I do something? Are you mad? I'm like, no, bitch, it has nothing to do with you, but you don't know the backstory of it. We don't know what Valerie did. We don't know what Valerie said to her in person, or we don't know. So I don't think that it's fair to be like, oh, she hates all black people. And me being a black man, I don't see this as her being hating towards all black people. I see this being her towards racism and prejudice towards black people. But she didn't sit here and be like, oh, all the niggers in the world need to burn
Carlos,
like the Planet of the Apes.
Coming from a statistically racist woman, she's said a lot about black people. She's said a lot of very racist things. That's when you take it that way, as in another.
Which is why I have a problem with it right now, because we've already established that she's a racist bitch. We've established that since the 90s. So now that being racist is in clout, that now, like, I just feel like what it's doing is it's making people in Hollywood walk on eggshells, which you guys all know I love transparency, and we're not given the opportunity to know. Like, we just found out about Drake. Drake out here giving out $1 million fucking dollars. This nigga got a whole baby on the side that he's not taking care of and is wearing Skechers. Like, I feel like they have to put up this facade, and I'm afraid for myself because I'm so open. I don't want to put up that facade. I never want to have to.
Here's something to look into, Carlos. I do know that there was an episode of Blackish that got shelved because they tried to.
Was it the elevator? It was the elevator episode.
No, it's the one that got shelved because of they did a thing about the NFL and Kaepernick, and the studio shelved the episode. So I agree with you that there's a lot of opportunity to show positive light on things. Okay, and I would say what Kaepernick did was trying to show voice his First Amendment rights in something positive. And I think for Roseanne, she's exercising her First Amendment rights to something that a lot of people might feel is very negative. And that's why she has a lot of negative blowback.
At the end of the day, I agree with you, but I've always said this. As Black, gay, or whatever you are as a person of color, to get rights, you have to accept the others' rights. That's why we are America. But I have like 5 to 6 more minutes. I want to transition if you have lost your job due to if you were on the Roseanne cast and you're now unemployed and you're an unemployed actor, I wanted to go over a couple ways to save money, because last week I talked about how to make money, right, guys? So this week I wanted to talk about how to save money. Today I went to go get my tags for my car, and I guess I took a couple of trips again on the toll bridge that I forgot about, and I owed like $300 and something in toll fees, and then they wouldn't let me get my registration before I paid my toll fees. So I did my traditional thing, and a lot of people don't realize this, where you can just literally ask them if they have any forgiveness program. Have you guys ever done that with any of your bills?
No, but I know about it.
I've done it before with my light bill.
Yeah, you can literally, a lot of companies have forgiveness programs, especially if you've never had a debt before, or if you've never like been an exceeding amount on that debt. So I literally just asked them, I said, hey, I just had a traumatic incident happen in my life. I'm going through a lot. I don't have the $300, but I need to renew my tax. And they reduced that $300 bill to $42. And you can do that on a whole lot of things. There's a couple other things before I got like a couple minutes. There are a couple other things that I wanted to go over. Use public transportation. Use the bus. Cut out the things that are unnecessary. So since Roseanne is no longer on the fucking TV, you can just cut that cable off, because that was the only show that we all were watching, right? So just cut Roseanne off so you can watch Netflix. It's okay. But that kind of gets annoying. If you really do that Netflix route, you end up watching a lot of the shit, and then you only end up with the indie films, and they're all horrible. So
not true. I have found some gems on Netflix.
Or you end up starting a podcast called The Worst of the Worst because you've run out of movies to watch. A couple other things is actually, this is one thing I just did, is refinance your automobile. So my car is relatively new. I was close to paying it off, but my payments were higher right now than I want them to be because of everything I'm going through. So I refinanced my car, and it brought my payment down almost by half. And it only extended the life of my loan by a year and a half. So I'm really, and that does not mean, like, right now I'm going to pay the lower amount, but once I get back on my feet, I'm going to go back to paying what I regularly was used to paying, just to stay ahead of the interest. So with these tips, you also have to do your research and just know how to negotiate with like interest and consolidating loans. Sell unused, well, that's kind of like last week, was like sell unused items. Ways to cut down on your electricity bill. This is what I'm going through right now in the summer. It's summertime. We all got our ACs on. We all have our fans on. It's fucking hot. Keep your AC, especially if you're at work, keep your AC at like maybe 77, 78. That way it won't really kick in. Because it won't really get that hot in your house. Unless it does, then it will keep it at that temperature. But once you get home, bring it down to your comfortable level. A lot of people, what they do is they turn off their furnace or their AC unit, and then when they get home, they turn it on. But their house is like 90 degrees, and your furnace is actually, it works twice as hard trying to get it down to a certain degree than if it was just at a level 77 and then has to drop a couple degrees compared to trying to drop the house 20 to 30 degrees. So that's something that actually will cut your electricity really, really far. But before I wrap up, do you guys have any last segments or any last topics on like saving money, or maybe if you got fired from the Roseanne show because people really just take politics way too seriously?
I have to say that I did hear that there were a bunch of people that actually quit the show. They weren't fired; they bailed. So
yeah,
there
was a couple.
Yeah, and then also, it's not bad when you're talking to people when you're up against a company. If you say, "Hey, do you have any like a debt forgiveness program, or is there any way I can work out a deal?" A lot of times, companies. I agree with you, Carlos. A lot of times, companies would rather have some money than none, and you just have to try to see if they're open to that. And it doesn't hurt at all to just be straight up and just be like, "Hey, can I get a break on this? Is there any program?" Yep.
Carlos.
He's gone.
Is he going to end his segment? Okay.
That's it. He went to go find his Ambien.
Sorry. No, my thing went off. I pressed my mute button. But no, I wanted to end with the worst, like you were saying, Doug, the worst thing that anyone can say to you is no. So if you owe $1,000 but you only have $200, $300, it's like, hey, I have $300. Otherwise, I'm not paying this. And they most likely will come up with some type of plan with you guys. Yeah. I'm going to end this segment with that. Just because I disagree with how Roseanne is being treated, I'm not against my people, but I really do think that we have to really look at the real issue. Is canceling her show really combating racism? And to be completely honest, I think it's kind of doing the opposite, because even if she is a racist, she was at least acknowledging it, and she was bringing it up in her show from the episodes that I had seen. In the new season, not in the old season. The old show was fucked. That's why I didn't like it. But the new season, I was actually giving her a chance, and they were making really, really good strides. So I really just really want everyone to just like take into consideration, like, when someone in the media or someone in society or a celebrity does something and you want to boycott them, do it. It's your right. That's why we're Americans. But also think of the people that it's affecting. Think of all the people of color, like you said. There were who was it? Rhonda Sykes or Miss Sykes, and like the black actress who was on there. They all quit. So like, do you think that they want to just quit their job? So, and that's also for racist people. Like, if you believe in those things, it's okay as an American to believe in those things. But maybe like we have a separation of church and state. Maybe we really need to have separation of like state and like our jobs, like maybe that's something we need to consider as a country, because it's getting out of hand. I personally feel like it's getting out of hand, because just because they're a celebrity or public figure does not mean that they still don't have their constitutional rights. But thank you guys for kicking it with me. It's been great. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next week.
All right, guys. So this is our Savage announcement. You know how we do each and every Wednesday, just checking in with you. We're calling on movie lovers. We're looking for our listeners, to interact with us for our newest show, which premiered 2 weeks ago on May 21st. It was called The Worst of the Worst, ladies and gentlemen. And we have our very own Doug Carrion, creator, here to just give us a little insight on it. It's been going amazing. So, Doug, tell us more about it.
Okay, so the Worst of the Worst podcast is very simple. Collectively, as a community, we all watch a really bad movie and we talk about it and make fun of it and have fun. And that's basically the simple premise of the podcast. Really cool. We find and celebrate the worst movies ever made. Some of them are funny, some of them are horrible, but it's all in good fun, and celebrating how weird movies can be.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Doug. I appreciate it. But before we leave, can you give us like any kind of preview or something with the movie voice? I told him doing early in the show you would give it to us.
You really want the movie voice?
Stop playing with me, Doug.
You really want
talk
the
about
movie
it so
voice.
much, and you don't give it to me?
I'm queuing it up. Here we go.
That was
A
kind of
black nurse. Hold on, I got to queue up again. A black nurse takes vigilante justice against inner city drug dealers after her sister becomes their latest victim. Pam Grier stars in the 1973 classic Coffee. There you go.
I love that. Oh my God. I wasn't expecting that you were going to give me this week. I thought you were supposed to give me a little something else. So that is this week's. Is that this week's?
That's going to be this week. So this week, come on, movie lovers.
Oh, my God.
Watch Coffy, Coffy, with Pam Grier. It's a MF classic. And then tune in on Monday night. If you want to send us some notes beforehand, tell us what you think. We'd love to hear from you, but that's what we're going to be dissecting this week. The 1973 classic, Coffy.
1973 classic Coffy. That's what I'm talking about, guys. I'm definitely watching that. I only saw like clips of it as a kid. I ain't never seen the whole movie. So just looking forward to that. Thank you for that announcement on What's to the Worst, guys. Tune in every Monday night at 8 p.m. 8 p.m., right?
Yeah.
Every Monday night at 8 p.m. for Worst to the Worst. Just making sure. All right, guys, if you're an artist out there and you want to get your music heard on our segment with Doug called Still Listening, please submit your music. You can email us at savageonair@gmail.com, and we can get your music played. We love to feature new people, especially people who are really interactive. If you got a new single, a new album, something that's popping, let us know what's good. Doug's really good at putting it out there and letting people know, bringing it to life. I'm going to say that. Doug's really good at bringing it to life and putting it out there, and people are listening to what we got and Still Listening with Doug Carrion. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're an artist, submit your music, savageonair@gmail.com. Thank you guys out there that listen to us to Spreaker.com. We really, really appreciate it. Our Patreons, as we call them. Shout out to Crystal on that one. She listens to us on our Wednesday night and Saturday night podcast. And she was the one who said, Courtney calls us Patreons. So, yes, you're Patreons. We want to make sure you guys know that we love you guys. Make sure you share, like, and follow us because it helps us to be able to get sponsorship and other things going for future things we're working on, guys, to be even bigger and better. So, that was our Savage announcements. We're going to kick things over to Coco with our Savage Bullshit.
But anyway, so today,
you didn't even start. You dropping the microphone, Coco? You didn't even start. And you already dropping the mic. Let's get it. You must got something hot. Let's go.
So stupid. Yes. So I'm going to be Troy for today because I'm bringing up a topic that I'm very passionate about. I might get a little bit heated about, but it'll come with
Security.
time.
Security.
But I wonder if I have Brandon. Is Brandon on, or am I hanging on this by myself?
I'm here.
Oh, Brandon, yay!
Brandon!
I need you, baby.
Sorry.
Ooh, come on, selling sex.
Today's topic is all about age. I want to know, Brandon, you always say, I'm so young, I have this, I have that, I need to grow up a little bit. How old are you? Tell the world how old you are.
23 years old.
23 years young. I love it. Okay, cool. So, the reason why I brought this up is actually something that's a hot topic in my household because I'm, I think 2 years away from being 30, which I'm super excited about. And it's just something that, I live with my whole family, so there's a lot of topics that are like back in my day, or you wouldn't know because you were, you weren't around then, or blah, 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 blah. So something that comes up kind of in my daily life. The first thing I want to talk about age is respect. Now, I want to talk to Troy. Troy, you're what, 31, 32, 74?
Come on, know my age. I'm 31.
Okay,
cool. I'm 31. I ain't got nothing to hide, baby. I got
exactly.
31 with a about 32-year-old. Come on.
There you go. Exactly. So, are you one of those people that's like trying to stall time and is afraid to get older and dreads getting older and dreads that gray hair, or do you embrace it? Are you one of those people that's like, I don't give a fuck, the riper the better, the riper the fucking berry, the sweeter the juice, blah 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 blah. Like, listen, what kind of person are you with regard to age?
Listen, with age comes wisdom. So no matter what, age is gonna always have the smarts. But I'm definitely that type of person where at the end of the day, it is what it is. As the older I've gotten more sexy. I'm in the best. I'm in the best weight and the best looking, the best everything in my life right now. At 31 years old, I've ever been in my life. So age has done me very well. So I can only get age more gracefully, as I say. So
I love it.
I'm definitely not afraid of age.
But Doug, as the most wise one of the group,
right? I'm a bit of an anomaly in that I'm a lot older. So I'm 53. Okay,
and
but
you're
what's
53 years young?
Yeah, I'm 53. But what's really
you look 25, Doug.
Exactly.
I do, and I act 15. That's what is so scary. So I guess there's good and bad parts to it, but for the most part, for me personally, like I still feel pretty the same way I felt when I was 15. The only thing is I have more experience to kind of pull from. Gotcha. And that's basically it. But I am a bit of an anomaly in that even at 53, people, they don't know how old I am. They're like, how old are you? You 30? How old are you? You know what? And so I don't know. I'm still 15, pictures, I guess.
I would definitely peg you for like a hot, like 35. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't have any gray hair. I don't dye my hair, nothing like that. I just have genetically, I'm one of those guys that's like, I just look super freaking young. Also, drums. I've been a vegetarian 30 years. So that's another thing that may factor into why I look so long. Yeah.
Vegetarian, that's the secret?
I don't know if that's the secret, but it's definitely it works for me.
Troy's acting like he would actually ever consider this. All he eats is bread and meat.
Don't do that. Don't do that. First of all, Fran, don't tell my business. Second of all, because she's telling me, that's the goddamn truth, y'all. I'm going to live till I die. Bread and meat, that's all I need. I don't know if I can do it. But wait, first of all, Doug, I didn't know you were 53. Shout out to Doug Carry On listeners out here, everybody.
I'm 53. Yeah, look it up. You see pictures of me. There's pictures of me playing guitar.
I follow you on Instagram. Like I follow everybody else. I'll be watching you. Yeah. Wow, bro. Wow.
Yeah, amazing. That's amazing. There it is. But that's that.
Yeah. Vegetarian. I might have to consider it in my dreams. That's what I'm saying.
But anyway, Courtney, so why is the age thing? It's like you're saying age and da-da-da. Tell me what's up. Like, what's up?
So I was going to get to that actually, and I think Carlos can probably weigh into this because he's the closest in age to me. But I find that when I was probably my early 20s, when I'm just starting to find myself, trying to get out in my career, trying to be taken seriously, I found it super hard to get that respect, to get that where they look at you and like, how could you know all this because you're so young? How could you, what do you have to bring to my company, or what skills can you possibly own being so young, and how frustrating that is. And I actually wanted to bring it up because I've had my personal experiences, but I want to know in the entertainment industry, auditioning, trying to get up in the ranks of YouTube. Carlos, do you ever run into an issue when it comes to your age, how old you are, how young or how old they consider you to be?
In the entertainment industry, it's different because they want you to be younger and look younger, and be like millennial. And the fact, I feel like people our age, like 25 to 30, we're good because we know enough millennial shit to still pass. Like, if you guys see, like, on all of the shows right now, the people playing teenagers and middle schoolers are usually like 18 to 30, So they're using 25 to 30-year-olds as actors because we do have those personalities as like a millennial person. Now, on the business side, I get that a lot, where it was just like, why should I take you seriously? Like, why should I loan you this money? Why should I invest in your company? And I asked myself the same question you ask yourself, Coco. But the thing is, what I realized is that I was hanging out with a lot of people who weren't my age. Like, the people I was surrounding myself were in the late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, older,
And they were older, and like literally, they really were having those questions because when they were my age, they weren't doing what I was doing. So they're not trying to like down me, but they really like, man, when I was 25 years old, I wasn't sitting here at this table trying to invest. Like, like they're like, I was out partying. So they're really questioning like, how much knowledge do you have? Yeah. But with that, going back to being a millennial, we do have that knowledge because we are internet children. Like, we're self-taught, and the things we don't know, we can figure it out within 5 minutes.
We can look up in seconds.
There you go.
So I think it really, if you're asking yourself that question, you're on the right path because you're surrounding yourself with people who are better than you, who are a little bit wiser than you. And I'd rather have that question asked than me than a bunch of people being like, oh, how can I get on your level question?
Right. No, because to answer Doug's question, the reason why this came up is because the other day I was at the job that I recently had gotten, and the girl that's the manager there is, I think, 2 years younger than me. And I was telling her all this experience I had. I told her that I own my business. I have a staff of 12. We've been open for 3 years. I have, events with attendees upwards of like 1,500 people. I'm very well versed in the marketing promotion and the whole public event community. So it's a big deal. It's like a lot of an undertaking. And I was telling her how comfortable I was with the position I was doing because it didn't have my last position. I was booking events like birthday parties and social things. The last full-time job I worked at. But then I also had to manage the staff. I also had to do a whole bunch of stuff, and I feel like I put my foot in my mouth because it made her feel like this bitch is about to steal my job. Because literally, she's doing what I used to do. And I'm now under her. And so since then has been this weird animosity thing. And I know it's just because I'm only 2 years older than her. So she now feels threatened. And she's like, how does this bitch know when she thought she was on cloud 9? So like right. I feel that whole like the energy shift, and it made me think of how powerful age and experience is when it comes to the workforce. It can be taken in so many different ways. One thing is, Brandon, I always hear you say, I'm still young, I have to figure this out, or I'm still young, I haven't gotten to experience that. Do you experience a lot where people are telling you you're young? Because I feel like that, because you always start, when we're talking about different topics of relationships, marriage, or career, you always say, I'm still young. Like, do you hear that a lot from your friends and your family, or your bosses? Do you hear that often?
I don't hear it too often. I kind of get that in myself. I'm too young to do things. But growing up in Arkansas, my mom kind of taught me independence. So It was basically like she kind of taught me from wrong to right.
Gotcha.
So with that being said, I kind of got that in my head to say, Brandon, you're not too young to do this. You're not too, because that's basically with jobs. A lot of jobs tell me I'm too young to do a certain position. I applied for construction. I've done construction. I've done electrician. I've done a lot of things growing up. But a lot of jobs had told me that I was too young for a certain position. That kind of killed me, but
it's frustrating.
It is.
Because you have that experience, you're capable, but they look at your age as you're, inexperienced and incapable, and it's like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place because you want to prove it to them, but you got to get the job first. So
it's kind of feel like they just like judging you before you even get the job, because they probably think, oh, he's 23. He's not gonna fuck around and get drunk before he comes into work the next day, smoke weed at work. So I'm just like, I'm kind of over that shit already.
Gotcha.
But the job that I have now, I'm a hotel manager for a busy ass hotel. So for me to be a 23-year-old bossing, watching over 58-year-olds, 60-year-olds, 40, it makes me feel a lot better.
Awesome. Great. I love that. And another thing I wanted to, I got my little venting out. One other thing too is because I remember that my manager asked me, she said, do you get easily influenced? And I said, no. I was like, I'm 27 years old. I'm too grown to get influenced by drama and all the stuff. I'm there to work, get my money, and leave. And she was happy about that. But then she's like, are you sure? Because, a lot of the girls in the office, they like to talk about gossip. They like to, get into people's business. And then I get the job and I get there and they're literally like 16, 17 and almost like 21 at the oldest that I'm working with. I'm like, did she really feel the need to ask me that question? And I realized it's because she's used to managing people that are younger. And so I was like, this is gonna be a fun ride, guys. But another thing I wanted to bring up is, Doug, if you were in a restaurant and a black man served you your meal, right? And he was wonderful, he was personable, he was joking, he made an entire beautiful experience for you at the restaurant. Would you tip him less than it had he been a white man?
Fuck no.
Okay, cool.
No.
That's a good
Fuck no.
Good. Cool.
Fuck no.
Cool.
Yeah,
now,
never in 2 million years.
Okay, Carlos, right? So say you had this beautiful girl. Let's say she was Spanish, snatched, gorgeous, tight-fitting clothes, and she was your waitress, right? Would you tip her less than if she was a sexy-ass, cut-up male?
Be honest, Carlos.
Be honest, Carlos.
I tip everybody their 7% of my tab. That's it.
7.
What?
Did he say 7?
7% of my tab is what you get.
Okay.
7%. That wait.
Fucking
Wait,
roll
that
back.
breaks my
Whoa.
heart, Carlos. I'm so sorry.
Bring it
I'm
back.
sorry.
Damn.
Don't come to my restaurant,
Bring it
girl.
down.
That's
Bring it
what
down.
you-
Wait.
Or
Yeah.
But not even 10%,
not
Carlos?
7%. No. You take your. No, I said that wrong. You take your total and you divide it by 7. That's what
That's
I do.
7%.
Is it okay? Then 7%.
Carlos, that's less than 10%. You don't
That's
even. Your guy
terrible.
even gets 10%. Like 10%
But here's
is
the
you
thing.
had bad
Here's
service.
the thing. Here's the thing. I rarely go out to eat because I can cook and I'm a
That's
great
why you
ass
should
chef.
tip more.
And 2, I'm sorry. In Seattle, they're making $15 an hour. They it's not like they're
Oh
not
my
making
goodness.
like
I'm done.
the waitress. They're making $15 an hour.
I'm
Right.
done.
Carlos, that doesn't mean that they don't have other things to do and their service wasn't great. I will. Ooh, Carlos. Ooh, you break
All
that
right.
on my table because
Break
if you
it
come to me and
up.
give me 7%,
Listen.
after the
7%.
service that I give you, oh my God, Carlos
Listen,
is a
guys.
superstar.
buy
This is
go-
not
you know
a
what, but I
topic
also-
about
I'm
waiters
also not
and
a person
tipping.
that I don't demand a lot. Like, just bring my drink.
Carlos,
bring
you
my food.
think
That's
you
it.
don't.
Don't check on me.
Listen,
Don't
Carlos,
check
let
on
me tell you something. That
nothing.
7% is not going to help pay the host girl that sat your ass and sat the damn menu and fork there. It's not going to put
That
the
sounds
chef
like
in the
you
back.
need to talk to the restaurant industry to make sure y'all are paid more.
Oh my god.
No, so they can come in and say, you get paid $15 an hour, so I'm not tipping you. Here we go. Same shit.
Okay, shut up. So, we've established that none of us are racist when it comes to tipping. None of us are sexist when it comes to tipping, correct? Have we established
Yes.
But
Yes.
do we realize
Correct.
how often we practice ageism? People don't realize that you don't have to be biased against races. You don't have to be against ethnicities, religions, or anything like that. But we don't realize how biased we are against age. Because, the reason why I want to bring this up is, do we feel like certain careers have a shelf life? Or would we respect someone in a different age range for a different like career or field? The reason why I said that is because, say if you're going to a doctor's office, right? And you've been feeling this pain for months and you have no idea where it originated from. You just know that every day you're waking up and it feels worse. So you go to the doctor, let's say it's an urgent care, right? Where they got 10, 15 doctors to choose from, okay? So you get there, you sign up all your shit, they take your insurance, and they say, well, we have a couple of doctors on staff that are free. We have Dr. Johnson, who's 24, just out of college, just out of medical school or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say maybe 28. We'll give him 28. Okay? Dr. Johnson's well qualified. He's fresh. He's young. He knows what to do. He's got energy. He can diagnose you in seconds. Okay? Then we have Dr. Phillips, who's a hot, 69. He's been doing this for about 40 years. And, he will take a little bit extra time with you, be a little bit more personable, and eventually figure out what's wrong, what's ailing you. Who would you choose? Doug, who would you choose and why?
That's such a loaded question, but here's what I'm going to say. Because you had added the personable thing at the end, I'm going to go with the one that has the most experience and the one that's the most personable. Now, that might be the young buck might be the person that's the most personable, but might lack experience.
Gotcha.
Okay, just because of less years on Earth. Where the old guy might have more experience, but could be a total dick.
True.
So that's a pretty. I don't know. I mean, I guess for me, I walk into a room and I'm like in a situation like that. I'm usually the doctors are younger than me. So it's like, what? And then I scratch my head. I go, boy, I sure did play guitar for a long time.
You're
Fuck, I should have been a doctor.
Coco. I really think it depends on the doctor, because I don't care if it's like my physical doctor, but if it's my therapist, my psychiatrist, it has to be a black person. Because the thing that I'm talking to you about.
Why are we bringing in race?
No, because it's your question. It's your question. If I had to choose a white
whichever
doctor
one's
or a black
blacker?
doctor, I would no, because for my like when I'm talking about police brutality and what I'm going through, I want a person that actually understands. Like, yeah, bro, I feel it too. And then if I'm just telling it to a white therapist, they can maybe empathize, but they really can't understand what I'm going through. But if it's like this, my normal doctor, I don't care if they're young, black, straight, gay, they can be whatever, but my therapist has to be a 50 or under black person, because that's the main person who actually understands what I'm going through.
Who identify with what you're going through. I got you.
There you
That
go.
makes sense.
Okay.
That makes sense. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this is just to pick your brain and actually let you guys get to know yourselves better. All of us are extremely practice ageism on a daily basis. Now, Troy, I'm excited to ask you this question. So, say you're at a buffet. Right?
Oh, shit.
Say you're at a buffet and you're, getting your food, you're going down the line and you're picking your shit and you come across the rice. The rice is across from you. You're not getting the rice, but you can see it. It's in your direct view. Say an older man, peg him about 89 years old, comes bare hand, no gloves, no protection, and picks up a scoop of rice with his hand, right? Now, rewind back, pretend that never happened. There's this beautiful, maybe 23-something-year-old woman, gorgeous, tan skin, exotic looking. She takes her hand and she takes a full bare hand scoop out of the rice. Which one would skeeve you out more? And why?
First of all, hold up. I'm gonna do this. Hold up. First of all, if anybody stick their nasty ass hands in some buffet food, I'm gonna call them out in front of everybody. And I'd be mad crazy. I'm spazzing out. I know you didn't put your hands in that rice in front of everybody right now. I don't care if you old, pretty. I don't care who you are. I'm putting you on blast in front of everybody. Fuck you. You just messed up that rice. I had it in my mouth was tasting that rice, and you put your hands in it. Nah.
You were so ready.
Now
for
I want
that
my money
rice.
back. I want my money back. I'm leaving.
Oh my God. The reason why I asked that question is because I had a moment of ageism the other day, and me and my dad were at a buffet at ShopRite, and we saw this old man put his old grubby hands in the rice to taste it. Now, we got in the car. My father is seething. He's like, this is ridiculous. Why would someone put their nasty old grubby, he made a point to say grubby old man hands in the rice. Several times.
Girl, he would have got his ass whooped. I'm sorry.
Right? And then I thought about it. I was
wouldn't
like,
even say anything. I thought I would have just hit him.
Oh, damn, brother. Oh, man, boom. You're going to be on the news. Oh, man, 89 get punched in the apple.
Just remember, Brandon, say the Ambien made you do it. Just remember.
yes, right?
Ambien made me do it.
Now listen.
Ambien made me do it.
I don't know why, but in my head, as he was saying grubby old man hands, I was picturing, now what if it was a nice, like she had manicured nails, like her nails,
She would have got slapped.
Hand looked lotioned, and she
Everybody getting beat up.
and she put it in the rice, right? I was like, I don't think I'd minded that much. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Oh, wow. It was you who would have minded. Ew, you nasty, Courtney. I thought you said you was going to ask your daddy that. Did you ask your dad that question? I would have loved to know what he thought.
Oh, I have to, and then I'll get
Oh,
back
my
to
gosh. You got to ask him and tell me what he says. I
to.
want to know if he's going to sell out and be like, oh, she's pretty. It's okay. Because he said, oh, grubby hand. You said, oh, grubby.
Oh, my God. It was like 4 times.
You're going to see if he's going to say, oh, cute manicured hands.
No. Yeah, he said old man grubby hands, and I was like, it was the best. It was the best. But you don't realize, and I read an article the other day about people don't realize how much we peg someone's personality or their abilities or their lifestyle based on how old they look. One last question, because I actually had a movie idea that came across with the same subject. Now, what if you walk into, who am I asking? Doug.
Copyright that.
Listen, Doug or Troy, one of y'all, walk into a strip club, right? Bunch of pretty old girls. Some of them with C-section scars, some of them with bullet wounds, but they're all pretty okay. Okay? It's one of those Tuesday night clubs, okay? So,
Miss Amateur night?
So listen.
Hey.
So listen. What if it was one of those, right? And then we see one that's just like beautiful, incredibly like tight skin, nice tummy, nice shape, nice ass, right? But she has gray hair. She has a long head, like a long gray hair all down her back. But she's killing it on the pole, like she's just making all of them stand up, right? So, would you request her to give you a lap dance, or would you go for one of the bullet wound girls that are a little bit younger and don't have gray hair? Because your boys are in the room with you, like back there saying you gotta make the right decision.
I'm going straight home to Pornhub and gonna rub one out. I'm not dealing with any of that shit.
Wait, what is wrong with Missy with the gray hair? I don't understand.
Well, hold on a second.
Be specific about the hair, though.
Be specific about the hair. Is the hair really gray? Like
it's
she has gray hair?
Dyed. It's usually
which lady gray? What gray is it?
It's like salt and pepper. So she's had some years on her.
Is she bald?
So what?
Yeah.
Doug is thinking about it. That's why I wanted to.
I'm thinking about that one. I don't know. When I'm in the strip club, and let me tell you, I gotta make sure the merchandise is really clean. So I don't know. There might be too many miles on that engine. I don't know if I want.
Did you hear that? Shut up. First of all, Doug, I'm not fucking with you right now. Oh my God. You said the merchandise.
Sorry, baby. Cool. After 100,000 miles, you got to turn that shit in. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Listen, first of all, Doug, let's look. Come on, Doug. No. Stop. It's 2018, Doug, and we got all these machines and all these surgeries and all this stuff out here where Granny can get it real tight, real cute. It can smell like flowers and roses and even do tricks too. So don't get it twisted. Just because she got that gray hair, she might be like Mama D and get the snatch back and look like 20 years old. They said that's what they said. Mama D looking like she's 20.
I don't know.
Last question before I get to my point, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. Brandon, so you're into fashion, right? You know how they always have the who wore it best, right? Now, say you have a 7-year-old, like say Helen Mirren. Do you know who she is?
Yes.
Yes, her, and then like there's J-Lo right there, right? Without even looking at the magazine, and they said that one of them had a fucking Gucci, I don't fucking know if Gucci makes dresses, what the fuck, Gucci dress on with that was tight and fit them flawlessly. Automatically in your head, who would you think wore it better?
You said it fits their what?
No, it said it fit them perfectly. The people are all raving about it on the radio, but you didn't get a chance to see it yet because you haven't been on the internet. But they said that they both were wearing it gorgeous. Who would you assume would have worn it better? J-Lo or Helen?
J-Lo.
Why?
I feel like J-Lo will be into the trends that's going on now. Besides,
why? Just because she's younger?
Versus Hot Mama,
You do know Helen Mirren. She used to be a supermodel in, I think, England or something like that. And she's actually #1 in the hottest over 50. So why would you assume that J-Lo will wear it better?
CG put it like that.
Brandon.
I don't know. I still feel like J-Lo will still have it.
First of all, Helen Mirren, she old, she white, and she slim, and she probably more VIP than J-Lo. So just think about it that way.
But anyway, as I was going to say, though, I love getting older. I'm so excited to be 30. A lot of people look at me and they're like, why? I hate when people say, don't wish for it. Don't wish for it. It's going to happen, or don't wish for it because it'll make it happen quicker. It'll be here before you know it. I'm like, bitch, the time is going to go the way it's going to go regardless. So I'm going to be excited for the inevitable. Like, why should I be depressed about getting older? I felt 4 gray hairs and I was so fucking excited the other day. I was fucking stoked. I cannot wait.
That was me too. Shut up.
Right?
That was me last year.
I
got 3 of them.
To be older and wiser and riper and snatched and gorgeous and be like the sexy grandma. I'm so for it. I am so for it. But
she said
anyway,
sexy grandma. Yeah, come on.
Praise Doug again for looking like 35 at, what'd you say, 53 was?
53. Clocking in at 53.
35 is right. Come on.
And Brandon, you are as old as your wisdom, and you are as young as your spirit. So always remember that. Don't ever let anybody put you down because of your age. You are capable. I just wanted to say that. But anyway, that was my segment on age. I had to vent a little bit. We are going to head over to Still Listening with Doug.
Hey everybody, welcome to I'm Still Listening. I'm your host Doug Carrion, and in this segment I'm going to be highlighting the coolest independent hip-hop, indie rock, and electronic music now available on SoundCloud. Check it out.
A black nurse takes a vigilante justice. I'm fucking with you. Sorry. Hey,
Wrong
everybody,
segment.
what's happening? It's Mr. Doug from Los Angeles, California. I got 2 tracks for you that are great. The first one's from DJ Martin Jensen out of Denmark. It's a flip on Hey Mama. I love the middle break section. Get your dancing shoes on. It sounds like this.
Best believe that when you need that, I'll provide that. You will always have it. I'll be on deck, keep it in check. When you need that, I'm gonna let you have it. It's in the drum like I'm Diddy Day. I like the dirty rhythm you play. I wanna hear you calling my name like hey mama, mama, hey mama. Sing in the drum like I'm Diddy Day. I know you want it in the worst way. I wanna hear you calling my name like hey mama. Be your man. Best believe that when you need that, I'll provide that. You will always have it. I'll be on deck, keep it in check. When you need that, I'm gonna let you have it. It's in the drum like I'm Diddy Day. I like the dirty rhythm you play. I wanna hear you calling my name like hey mama, mama, hey mama. Sing in the drum like I'm Diddy Day. I know you want it in the worst way. I wanna hear you calling my name like hey mama. Be your man.
All right, that was a great track from Denmark, Martin Jensen.
You're still laughing at my gift.
I'm still laughing. Dude, I'm so laughing. All right, okay. Now, this next track, I'm going to give this one to Courtney. And I know that you do like reggae, and so this one's going to go out to, even though it's not a reggae track, there's a lot of flavor to it for my ear. I hear a lot of traditional pop, 1950s circa pop music in there. The writing is very, 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 very clear cut. I love the hook, but the track's called Honey Baby, and it's from 3 guys. It's called 3+, and it's a group of Polynesian artists out of Hawaii. And you could look them up on SoundCloud.com, Honey Baby, or SoundCloud.com 3+. And it's got a great swing to it, cool little pop kind of shuffle. Here we go. It sounds like this.
Saw you there standing under the mango tree. Beautiful woman, looks so fine to me. She had all the things that I've been searching for. She had erhu hair, a flower in her ear, and bongo shorts. She's my honey baby, my honey baby, my honey baby, my honey baby. But I want you to know that wherever you go, I won't be far away. 'Cause as I can count on me, cause I'm your Hawaiian Superman. Honey baby, my honey baby, my honey baby, my honey baby. Girl, I just told you how I feel for you. And every word I said, yes, you know it's true. Before I go, there's just one more thing, my darling. Give you total commitment, girl, with this wedding ring. 'Cause you're my honey, baby. 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 Yes, I want you to know that you're mine all of the time. Rain or shine, honey, baby.
Gonna be alright. I got me over here singing. I
I
like
love that
Come on.
song.
Yes,
There you
that
go.
Put us in the vibes, them vibes. You feel me? Thank you for
That's
that,
good.
Jack. Appreciate you still listening. Come on. Yes, getting us together. We ended on a great note on a Wednesday. Feel me?
I
Savage,
know.
we
I
good,
really
y'all?
like it. I feel uplifted now.
Yeah, we
That's
got some passions out. We got some things out there that was, we did a lot today. I'm proud of us. High five, team.
High
Boom, boom,
five.
boom.
Team.
Boom,
Wait,
boom,
that
boom.
sounds like something
Carl-
else.
everybody, and who's that? Oh, everybody's still here. That's Carlos, right? Yeah, everybody's still here.
Yes,
Everyone's
I'm
still here.
I'm still here. Don't even try me like that, Troy.
Guys, quick thing to mention real quick because I forgot to tell you, Troy. Next week is our 6-month anniversary, so we gotta do something right. We gotta bring it.
OMG, it's next week.
Wow.
Yes, it's 6 months
Really?
next week.
Wow.
We did it, y'all. We doing this. Oh my God, we gotta talk. We gotta figure this out. We gotta
There you
jump out of a
go.
plane or something. I don't know. We gotta do some
Right?
savage shit, some shit we never did to prove. Yeah, we did it.
We gotta do
Savage.
something crazy.
Yeah, we gotta figure out a live. Now we can figure out some kind of way that we can actually be. Come on, Carlos. Y'all, all this technology we got, y'all. Courtney, come on, Doug.
I know.
Come on.
We can use Zoom conference to do a live Skype call, but I don't know about the audio.
But how it's gonna look? We're gonna look into that. We're gonna look into that, y'all. 6 months. Y'all ready for that? Are y'all ready for that? First of all, y'all
We'll
ready
work
for
it
that?
out. We'll bring something.
We're working out. All right. Well, we bring the fire each and every week as we always do. Thank you guys for listening, for tuning in, holding it down each and every week. Our Patreons, you know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all. Real talk. We can't do what we do without you guys. So if you're listening, make sure you're sharing. Make sure you're liking. Make sure you're letting your people know. If you ain't listening, y'all need to be tuning into Savage Media Radio because they popping over there. You feel me? Oh,
Yeah.
with them. All right. That's what we do, y'all. It's Wednesday. We out of here. And as we each and every week, we do the same thing. What's good, y'all? Let them know.
Stay savage.
Stay savage.
Do whatever you